Hello. Um, it has been a fun week of Sudoku here. I've done a number of them. I thought I would film another that I got from cracking the cryptic. This one is called the Easy Arrows. I didn't watch the video and I haven't read the rules yet, but I hope it's easy to do. I hope this isn't a wasted recording session. And it looks like there are about 17,000 solvers, so I can't imagine it's terribly difficult. But the rules are normal Sudoku rules apply. Digits along the arrow sum to the digits in the arrow's circle. Okay, so I've seen this before. Cells separated by a white dot contain consecutive digits. Not all dots are given. Cells separated by a knight's move in chess cannot contain the same digit. Okay, I haven't totally figured out how to work with the knight's move rules yet, but I haven't totally figured those out yet. But this is the puzzle, and I guess we'll move on to solving it. I just got a haircut. My hair is shorter, and I'm going to be self-conscious about it while I'm filming myself. But let's think. Okay, so these are consecutive digits. These are consecutive digits. And this number is the sum of these. And that, I think, is enough information to fill in the value in the circles, at least for this one. Maybe, and for this one. I don't know about this one yet. But if you think about it, these three have to be unique digits. And this number needs to be 9 or below. This is the only number that can be filled in. And these need to be unique. So if you think about what the smallest possibility is, because we're worried about creating a sum, like if there was a 9 on this line, then the sum here would be too big to fill in a number here. If it was like 9, 1, 1, 1, 1, we'd get 13, and that's not a possibility. So none of these can be a 9, but we could think about what the smallest digits could possibly be. If this was a 1, 2, and a 3, and this was a 1 and a 2, we would get 9. And that means that it needs to be 9. It needs to be 9 because if there was some degree of freedom that would allow for a sum to be another number less than 9, we could use that. And there are still degrees of freedom, so this needs to be 1, 2, and 3 in any order. We don't know. They're all locked together. And this needs to be 1 and 2 in any order. We don't know. These ones are locked together too. But, as soon as I was to make this a 1 and a 3, we would get a number bigger than 9. As soon as I was to make this 1, 2, and 4, if I'm going to select anything larger than this, then this constraint that the number here needs to be 9 or below is violated. So that tells us what needs to go here and here with some variability, and that tells us what needs to go here. Cool. Now we can think about the fact that the set of consecutive digits is much smaller. So this can either be a 4 or 5, 5 and a 6, 6 and a 7, 7 or 8, or 8 and 9. But now that I've done this arrow, I should go do the one on the opposite side. So I think by the same reasoning, this needs to be a 1, a 2, and a 3, which are all locked together with some other color, and this needs to be a 1 and a 2. We can't put a higher number on this line anywhere, and then this creates a 9 in this. So we're doing pretty well because we're 3 minutes in and we have 2 numbers. Although the rate of number selection needs to go a bit faster, and it probably will pick up as we get more numbers in the puzzle. So now I'm a bit stuck on what to do. I'm not quite sure. This number needs to be reached by 2 different sums. But this really could be anything. Ooh, software update. Let's close that. I'm seeing this knight's move rule again. Sort of went through the rules kind of fast, not thinking about it. But anyway, this number needs to be reached by two different sums, but that leaves a lot of variability. This could be a 9, for example. This could be a 4 and a 5, and this could be a 6 and a 3. Or this could be an 8, and this could be a 6 and a 2, and then a 4 and a 4, because sometimes you're not allowed to repeat numbers. See, there's going to be no repeats in here. This certainly needs to be a 1, a 2, and a 3. We can't repeat on this line anywhere, in this segment of the line, but we're allowed to repeat down here. And in fact, I didn't even think about it. This could be 8. No, I was thinking we could have 4 4s in the line, but that's actually not true. Anyway, we need to make more progress. We've made a little bit. So, interesting. All right, so we know that a 1 and a 2 goes in this column, and we know that a 1 and a 2 goes in this column. There needs to be a 1 and a 2 in this box somewhere, except for the fact that it can't go here and they can't go here. They need to go here, but I don't think it's possible to have a 1 or a 2 in this cell. It's not possible to have a 1 or a 2 in this cell because there's no way of adding numbers. So, for example, if this was a 1, then what would this need to be? A 1 and a 0, or something like that. That's obviously not allowed. So this can't be a 1. Can it be a 2? Well, it could be 2, 1, 1. This would violate some of the other rules, but just there wouldn't be anything for down there either. And what that tells us is that you must be a 1 and a 2 in some order that we don't know. I'll throw the colors in. Great, great. Now I feel like it's time to start applying the knight's move rule. Because at least at this point, I don't see anything else that we can do with the 1 and the 2. I don't think there's anything we can do with the 1 and the 2. I think we need to figure out how to apply this knight's move rule. I'm in pajamas here. It's a Saturday afternoon, and it's a fun way to spend a Saturday afternoon is to do a puzzle and record it. Maybe something I should have thought about is where does the 9 and the 8 need to go in this region? Because a 9 is not allowed on the line anywhere. It's allowed here, but it's not allowed here or here, because then this number would need to be greater than 9. Maybe I could use that to reduce this number somehow with the knight's move rule. All right, so we have some cells that need to be a 1 or a 2. And we have some cells that need to be a 1, 2, or 3. I think we can remove the colors. The colors were just there to show me, in case I needed it, the fact that, solving one of these solves the other one. But I think that's going to become distracting. I think what I really want to use the colors for is to describe where the 1 and the 2 need to go. Because we have some cells that can be a 1, 2, or 3, but most of these cells, some of these cells at least, can only be a 1 or a 2. So for example, if this is a 1, call this yellow. There's only 2 options, right? If this is a 1, this would need to be the other option, which is going to be green. I'll use green to describe the 2, and I'll use yellow to describe the 1. But then in this case, since these 2 squares are separated by a knight's move, which means this would need to not be a 1. This can't be yellow. Let's forget about this notion of 1 and 2. Let's think about the concept of yellow and green. This can't be yellow anymore. This would need to be a green. Now this would need to be a yellow. Now you can't be a yellow, so you need to be a green. And you need to be a yellow. Okay. Okay. That's how I want to start. I don't know how I want to wrap this. I don't know how I want to finish it. This square can also reach this square. So if this is a 1, then this cannot be a 1. How... Maybe I jumped in too quickly with that. This square has a very interesting thing where it's not allowed to be... This square cannot be equal to either of these squares or this square. Maybe... Huh. Maybe that is what we're supposed to do. Okay, so let's use colors instead of numbers. Let's use colors instead of numbers, right? These can be any of the three colors that we've described. So I don't know whether or not yellow corresponds to 1 or 2. I don't know whether or not green corresponds to 1 or 2, but we need a third color. I suppose I'll use orange. These can be, they need to be 1, 2, or 3, so I'll use the colors green, yellow, and orange here. These can be any of the following: green, yellow, or orange. So orange here definitely corresponds to red, or excuse me, orange here definitely corresponds to 3, but we don't know whether or not the green or the yellow correspond to 1 or 2. So wherever the orange cell shakes out to be, we need to put a 3, and then we may need to do some work to figure out where the yellow and green squares go. But the deal is that this actually can't be green because it sees a green, so you're not allowed to be green. You also can't be yellow because you see a yellow on the knight's move. So you need to be orange, which means you need to be a 3. And now you two can't be orange, but you also can't be 3. So this is definitely a 1 and a 2 in some order. This can't be yellow, it needs to be green. So you need to be green, and now you need to be yellow. So now what's going on down here? You need to be a yellow, because we're only allowed we're using the colors and the numbers a bit separately. There are 3 numbers that we're interested: 1, 2, and 3. There are 3 colors: yellow, green, and orange. We've determined, just based on our rule, the way that we define these things, that the orange needs to be 3, but we don't know whether or not yellow or green corresponds to the 1 or 2 squares. This cell here, it can't be a green cell or an orange cell. It means it needs to be a yellow cell. It needs to be a yellow cell. But this square here can't be yellow or green. It needs to be orange. In fact, it can't be a green because it sees a green on a knight's move. So this needs to be orange, which means you need to be our 3. I'll keep using the colors, even though filling in colors on top of numbers can be distracting sometimes, and now you need to be green too. Cool. So now I feel like we've made a lot of progress. We know the following things. We know the following things. In this region, where does the 3 need to go? I'm not quite sure yet, but the 3 can't go here or here or here. These digits see 3. In fact, it can't go here, here, or here because these digits see this 3. This one can't be a 3 either because it sees both of these 3s on a knight's move. And that means that one of you two must be a 3. There were probably other ways of doing that. But now this cell needs to be greater than 3. This cell can't be a 1. There's a 1 in the same region. It can't be a 2. There's a 2 in the same region. It can't be a 3. There's a 3 in the same region. So you can only be a 4, a 5, a 6, a 7, or an 8 or 9. Can we figure out... Now I'm inclined to continue to use this knight's move rule in some way, but I'm not quite sure how. So these 3 can't be green because they see a green. These can't be green because they see a green. This means the green... the green also can't be here. Green would either need to go in one of these two or this one. Whatever a green is, we don't know. We're 14 minutes in. Oh, I don't like my short haircut. I mean, I do. I met a new hairdresser named D. He was a really nice guy. Okay, maybe I should have spent more time on this. This number we said needs to be greater than 4. But it's true that these numbers need to be greater, or 4 or greater, but it's true that these numbers need to be 4 or greater too. The minimum that I could put here is 4. And if I put a 4 here, the minimum I could put here is 5. I think that means that the minimum for this cell needs to be 6. This can only be a 6, 7, 8, or 9. In order to make 6, I would need to do... Would I need to do something funky? I could put a 5 here and a 1 here. And then I could put a 4 here and a 2 here. I don't know if I'm allowed to do that, actually. I feel like I'm digging in to something I shouldn't be. I feel like there's a better way to go about solving this, but I don't know if it's actually possible to put a 6 here. I know the 4 and the 5 need to go out here someplace. I have 6 cells open, and I know what goes in 3 of them. 3 must go in 1, a 4 must go in 1, a 5 must go in 1. 6, it's possible that a 6 needs to go in 1. Okay, where does the green need to go in this cell? I think that's... So the green, these 3 cells see this green cell. These 3 cells see this green cell. And these 2 cells, here and here, they see this green cell by a knight's move. Which means that a green must go here. Whatever green is, still don't know. But you must be green. And now where does the green need to go in this region? Well, these 2 cells see greens along the rows. This cell sees a green along the columns, and this one sees a green by a knight's move, which means you need to be green. Now, where does a green need to go in this region? It needs to go here. Where does a green need to go in this region? It needs to go there. That seems very interesting to me, and I think we have filled in the locations of all of the green cells. Let's see if we can do the same thing with yellow. So, I don't know if we can. How did we even do this? We did this by saying that in this cell, in this region, we need to place a yellow cell someplace. These 3 see a yellow along the vertical. These 3, this one we know can't be yellow anyway, but it sees a yellow along the row, and then these 2 see a yellow by a knight's move. So that one, which means you must be our missing yellow cell. You must be our missing yellow cell. Oh, there's just more to do, and I don't see it yet. So, In this region, where do the yellows need to go? They need to go here and here. In this region, yellows can't go here, here, or here. The yellow can go here, here. In this region, yellows can't go down here, or here, or here. Yeah, so where does the yellow need to go? In this region, well, these three see yellows along the row. These three see yellows along the column. This one sees a yellow along the row. This one's already green. And then this cell here sees a yellow by a nice move. This means you are our missing yellow cell. And now in this square here, you are our missing yellow cell. And you are our missing yellow cell. So that's great news, because now we see... We figured out them all. Now we've placed all of the yellow cells possible. So, backing up, I don't know if I ever gave a complete and great description, but I'm certainly being a little bit over verbose with the explanation of green and yellow. At the beginning, we had something like, there needs to be a 1 in one of these two cells, there needs to be a green in the other cell. And we said, let's just call one yellow and one green. Or there needs to be a 1 and a 2 in these two cells someplace. We don't know which is which, but if we color the cells, then we can figure out what they're related to. And we figured out that whatever goes here needs to go in all of the other yellow cells. Whatever goes here needs to go in all of the other yellow cells, or in all of the other green cells. So we don't know where the 1 and the 2 are. We have to place 1 in each of these, but as soon as we do, it fills in all of the other 1s and 2s. So now my question is, can this one be a 1? If this was a 1, and these two were consecutive digits, then this would need to be a 2. But if this was a 1, because green would correspond to 1, then yellow would need to correspond to 2, and the 2 would need to go up here. So this creates our contradiction. You can't be a 1. You must be a 2. You must be a 1. Now you must be a 2. Actually, what I can do is I can highlight, I think, all of the green cells and say all of them are absolutely definitely 2s. All of the yellow cells are absolutely definitely 1s, and we have made a mountain of progress. Now, you need to be a 3 because there's only one consecutive number after 2, or one consecutive number that pairs with 2 that's not 1. So you need to be a 3. I don't know if I should make you orange. Maybe I should, just for being able to see things. And now where does the 3 need to go in this region? Well, it can't go in either of these two because of the columns. There's 3s. It can't go here because of the knight's move rule with that one. So you must be our 3. You're a 3. Let's make you orange because it's both confusing and makes it a bit easier to see, I think. Where does the 3 need to go in this region? I don't know yet. It's like a motorcycle brigade outside or something. Or something or something. None of you can be 3s, and you can't be a 3. How about you? In this region, where would the 3 need to go? Can't go here. Can't go here. By the knight's move rule, it also can't go here and here. So one of you two needs to be a 3, but I don't know which one. You guys, one of you 3 needs to be a 3. I'm glad I didn't focus on that 6. It would have been a distraction and a waste of time, I think. I mean, we've gotten, looks like a lot of cells filled in the last 23 minutes without focusing on that cell. But what it tells us is that a 1 and a 2 are not allowed to go in either of these anywhere. And if a 1 and a 2 are not allowed to go in either of those anywhere, Is it possible for this to be a 6? All right, now I want to get back to focus on. Every time I see this, it's a bit of a distraction. Is it possible for you to be a 6? Well, the only combinations of cells that add to 6 are down here. They use the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 because those are the numbers less than 6. But I wouldn't be able to use the numbers 1 and 2 in any of them, which means I wouldn't be able to use the numbers 4 and 5 either. I could only use the number 3. I would have something like 3, 3, 3, 3, and this would create contradictions all over the place, so you're not allowed to be a 6. How about 7? Are you allowed to be a 7? Are you allowed to be a 7? So again, I need to come up with some numbers that sum to 7, but I'm not allowed to use 1 and 2 anywhere, which means I wouldn't be able to use 5 or 6 anywhere. I would need 4 and 3 for both of them, but neither of these can be a 3. And what that means is that you're not allowed to be a 7, excuse me, either. And if I go back in time 3 minutes, I will find a little clip of myself saying, don't focus on that because it's not going to get you very far, and I focused on it and it didn't, but we know that somewhere out here there now needs to be a 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Cool. I'm noticing that this column has 2 sets of consecutive digits in it. This one and this one and this one and this one. Noticing that. Can I do that again to make sure that this is a 9? Maybe it wasn't a waste of time altogether. How would I make this be an 8? I don't think it works with an 8. I don't want to play it all out because I sort of feel like that's akin to guessing. But if this was an 8, then I wouldn't be able to use a 1, 2, or 3 on either of these. And that would mean that this would need to be a 4 and a 4. The only way for this to be an 8 is if these two are 4s, 4, 4, 4, and 4. And what would need to go down here? Well, I wouldn't be able to use 4. Neither of these see 3 either. If this was an 8, then these two would need to be 4 and 4. But then this cell couldn't be a 1, 2, 3. Neither of these cells could be a 1, 2, 3, or 4 either. I think you need to be a 9. I think you need to be a 9. I'm inclined to use another color for 9s, but I use the color palette with some grays on it, and I've called the colors distracting. I find the gray scale palette especially distracting, so I don't like to use it. So I'm not super inclined to use, maybe I will. Maybe I'll just fill out the palette. Let's call 9 pink. So we need to figure out where our 9s go. Well, in this region, where does the 9 need to go? It can't go in this row, and it can't go in this column, but it also can't go here because of the knight's move rule. So you need to be a 9. Okay, now in this region, there needs to be a 9 someplace. It needs to go here. In this region, we do not have enough yet. Let's highlight them and make them pink so that I can think and see where does my 9 need to go. Filled in some 9s. We know it goes out here. Maybe I could fill in more, even. I need to find 2 pairs of numbers that sum to 9, but they're not allowed to use some of the things. In this region, where does a 9 need to go? Well, it can't go in this row because the row sees a 9. It can't go in this column because this column sees a 9, but this cell here sees a 9 by knight's move, so you are a 9. Okay, now in this region, 9s can't go here and here. In this region, the 9 must either go here or here. No, it doesn't. In this region, the 9 needs to go here. So much for the colors being helpful. In this region, 9's... I want to continue to apply this knight's move rule because it's really all we've got. I mean, we still need to use the consecutive numbers here, and we still have to figure out some sums, but there needs to be a 9 in this region someplace. That 9 either needs to go here or here. Either there or either there. Either there or either there. In this region, the 9 must go there or there. Progress has been made. Progress has been made. Okay, so let's try to fill in these. Let's try to fill in these. So what needs to go on these ones? Well, I can't use a 1, a 2. Shouldn't be able to use a 1, 2, or 3 on any of them. Which means the only numbers that I'm allowed to use in the sum are 4, 5, and 6, and 7, 8, and 9. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. But some of these numbers don't have a pair. I think that this needs to be a 4 and a 5. Oh, we're going to do it again. We're going to use colors again. Cool. We're going to use colors again. And this needs to be a 4 and a 5. One of these two needs to be a 4 and a 5. One of these two needs to be a 4 and a 5. There's now a train outside with a motorcycle brigade. A lot of noise. We're 31 minutes in, but we get to use colors again. And get to use colors again. So what I should do is I should remove all of the colors that we've put on this board up until this point. They were a little distracting anyway. Anyway, so one of you two needs to be a 4 and a 5. Let's just arbitrarily call this one yellow. Maybe yellow now corresponds to a 4, maybe it corresponds to a 5, I don't know. But because of the fact that they need to add to 9, this is going to be its dual. Now you need to be a 4 and a 5, 4 or a 5, but you can't be yellow. You need to be orange, and then you need to be yellow. So now where does the yellow need to go in this region? We don't know. Where does the yellow need to go in this region? That's a better question. Well, the yellow can't go here because these see a yellow along the row. It can't go here because those see a yellow along the column, and it can't go here or here. You are our missing yellow one. They can't go here or here by knight's move. Now you are our missing yellow piece. You are our missing yellow piece. And now where does the yellow need to go? Down here. The yellow is missing. It needs to go there. Where does the yellow need to go? In this region, well, it can't go here because that sees a yellow vertically. This sees a yellow. So one of you two needs to be yellow. Either of you two could be orange. That's not super helpful. That's as far as we got with the yellows. But now, orange in this region, don't know. Yellow in this region, yellow in this region. This one sees a yellow by knight's move. This one sees a yellow along the row. This one sees a yellow along the column. You are our missing yellow. Now in this region, the yellow needs to go here. The yellow needs to go here. The yellow needs to go here, and I think we filled in all of our new yellow squares. The yellow now corresponds to either a 4 or a 5, but the funny thing is that this used to be one of our positions for 9. 9 can't go here. Either a 4 or 5 needs to go here. So 9 must go there. Now, if you're a 9, you need to be a 9. And we've wrapped up all of the 9s, I believe. Great. Oh, and they make this nice little pattern. It's got some rotational symmetry, I think, about the center. Cool. It's like a little rotated square or something like that. Well, we filled in the positions for all the yellows. I want to do the same thing so that we end up with an orange on the white dots. So how do we do that? Well, U2 can't be orange because you see an orange along the row. U2 can't be an orange because you see an orange by knight's move, which means you are our missing orange cell, and now you are our missing orange cell. In this region down here, the orange must go either here or here. In this region up here, the orange must go either here or here, because these two are in the same row as this orange, and this one sees an orange by knight's move. What that means is that we're not allowed to have an orange in this region in these columns. So you are definitely an orange. That's interesting because of the fact that I know now that these two numbers are consecutive, but they don't use orange. Anyway, so in this region, here are two rows that see orange along rows, and here's a column that sees orange. So you must be orange. Now you must be orange. But we're still left around here with some things. But okay, so now we can apply what we applied last time. This is a very cool. I like this puzzle a lot. This is very cool. Awesome. And this was easy. I mean, I'm not done with it yet. Let me determine if it's easy after I have successfully solved it. One of these two needs to be a 4 and one of these two needs to be a 5. But this one can't be a 4. Can't be a 4 because that would mean that its consecutive pair is either a 3, can't be a 3 because 3 is in the same region, or a 5. But it can't be a 5 because if this was a 4, then this would need to be a 5. So you can't be a 4. You must be our 5. And now all of the yellows, as it happens, are our 5s. All of the oranges, as it happens, are our 4s. Now you must be 6. I'm not strong enough just yet to use another color. Not ready for that yet. I wonder if what I should have done was tried to see if the 3s could narrow anything down any further, but I don't think that's the case. I don't think that's the case. There needs to be a 6, a 7, and an 8 in this region, which means that the 7 needs to go either here or here. You must be a 7. So none of you two can be a 7. Anyway, can I fill in the rest of the 4s yet or no? Can I fill in the rest of the 4s yet or no? I don't think I can. I think that one of you two needs to be a 4, and I think that one of you two needs to be a 4, but I don't think that we have figured that out fully. In this row, 1, 2, how about... I guess we didn't put in the locations of all the 3s. One of you two needs to be a 3. But I don't think it can be you. I think it... Oh, maybe it can be you. Then you would be our 4. I don't know. I do not know. 3 needs to go here, here. 4 needs to go here or here. We could put in a 3 and a 4. Need to put an 8 and a 6 in this region someplace. Okay, down here, one of you two must be a 6. But I think 7s and 8s can go anywhere. Should we use the other one? One of you two must be a 6, but I think the 7s and 8s can go anywhere. In here, the 6 can also go anywhere. 40 minutes in. 40 minutes in. Easy Arrows is the name of the Sudoku by Eric Rathbun. I imagine Eric is nice. Just a guess. What do you two need to be? You two need to be a 7 and an 8. Again? Again? Do we do it again? Do we get to do it again? Before we switch to a new set of colors, I want to make sure that all of the locations that 3s could possibly be are filled in. So what's allowed to be a 3 in this cell? You cannot be a 3. You cannot be a 3. One of you two must be a 3, but you see a 3 by Might's move, so you actually need to be a 3. You just must be a 3. Now you must be a 3. I can't see my keyboard, it's dark in here, so... yeah, so now one of you two must be a 3. But you're not allowed to be a 3. Is that Knight's move rule encoded somehow? Why can't you be a 3? Does the puzzle tell you if the Knight's move rule is violated? Well, it's true that this can't be a 3. There needs to be a 3 in this region someplace. These see 3 along the column. This one sees a 3 by Knight's move, so you must be a 3. Now you must be a 3. Now you must be a 3. And if you must be a 3, then you must be a 4. And the funny thing about that is that you are orange. There's nothing funny about that. Depends on, I guess, who heard the... depends on who's laughing. Anyway, 4 needs to go in this region. It must go here. You are our 4. This is a great puzzle. All right, so all of our 4s are filled in. All of our 5s are filled in. All of our 9s are filled in. All of our 3s, 1s, and 2s. All we have left is 6, 7, and 8. And I think what we're going to find is that we can use these two with some more colors to figure out where the rest of everything goes. So let's remove the colors again. And then let's run through this one more time. By the way, if this needs a 6, 7, 8 in it someplace, maybe I don't need to use any colors at all, but the 7 and 8 in this row are taken up by these 2 squares, so you need to be a 6. You must be a 6. And now there must be a 6 in one of you two. But you're not allowed to be a 6. The puzzle is telling me that by Knight's move. That's a bit unfortunate. I wish that rule... I wish that I had to find that out on my own. It would have made the puzzle a little bit harder when you're using the tooling. But that's fine. So here are some 6s. Here are some 6s. My 6 down here must go either here or here. But, Oh, I thought we'd have a chance to use the colors again. Maybe we don't. You must be a 7 or an 8. I guess maybe maybe that's what we do. So in this column, there needs to be a 7 and an 8 someplace. Let's again use some colors. You'll be yellow and you'll be orange. I don't know whether the orange corresponds to an 8 or a 7. I don't know whether the yellow corresponds to an 8 or a 7. But I know that if this is yellow, then this needs to be yellow. Now there needs to be a 7 and 8 somewhere, so I know that you would need to be yellow because you see a yellow by Knight's move. You are now orange. Now you are now yellow and you are now orange. There needs to be a yellow cell in this region someplace. These ones see yellow along the column, so you need to be yellow. You need to be yellow, so you can't be a 6 anymore. You need to be a 7 or an 8, because we're using yellow and orange to describe the existence of 7s and 8s. So you are our 6. You are nothing yet, but you are orange. Okay. Where does the orange cell needs to go down here? So what I should do is I should take the green, I should take the 6s and make them a different color. So 6 will be pink. I don't know what the oranges and the yellows correspond to yet. We're 46 minutes in. 46 minutes in. But I think we're pretty close. So where does the 6 need to go in this region? Well, it can't go here. Can't go here because of the Knight's move rule. It's unfortunate that it tells you this. If I put a 6 there, it's gonna tell me that's not allowed. But so now you need to be a 6, which means you need to be a 7, which means you need to be an 8. 8 was supposed to be yellow or orange, but it can't be yellow anymore. So it turns out that 8 is our orange. 7, yeah, 8 is orange. So anything that was previously orange, you now need to be an 8. Anything that was previously yellow, you now need to be a 7. And we can go through and fill in what is missing. So if I can see my keyboard, you must be a 6. You must be a 6. Now you must be a 7. Now you must be an 8. Now you must be a 6. Now you must be an 8. Okay, we need a 7 in this row someplace, and we need a 6 in this row. That 6 needs to go here. We need now an 8 in this row. We need now a 7 in this region. We need now a 6. Okay, we need a 7. We need an 8. I didn't even realize that was the end. But, awesome puzzle, and a fun time recording it. That took 47 minutes and 5 seconds, and I am delighted to be the 17,360th person to do it. Thank you, Eric Rathbun, for making this puzzle. Easy arrows. Yeah, it was a lot of fun to do. Great. See you next time. Liked this puzzle? Can I give it a heart? I did like this puzzle. Yeah.